Hey YouTube, welcome back. Today we're going to go through how to optimize sleep. Okay, sleep is massively underrated. It plays a huge part in not only recovery, where we're going to rest, allow our body to recover, therefore adapt to, let's say, our training, but it's also then going to help training performance, which is obviously then going to help the results we're after. And thirdly, it's also going to help with adding muscle mass and retaining muscle mass. So if you're in a fat loss phase, it's going to be very important for holding on to the muscle mass that you have and therefore dropping body fat for the most part. So we really need to make sure our our sleep is optimized and on point, and I'm going to walk you through how to do that now. Don't forget, if you do enjoy the video, please drop a like. If you have any questions, throw them down below, and if you haven't already, please do subscribe. Okay, so the number one thing we need to focus on is routine. Okay, so basically this is what we're doing before we go to sleep. Let's say that's sort of 1 to 2 hours, maybe even 3 before we go to sleep. That routine we need to try and make consistent, and we need to try and do certain things within that to optimize sleep, which I'm going to walk through right now. Consistent times. We need to try and make sure our sleep and wake times are consistent day to day. Okay, our body's very good at getting into a routine. We'll have certain sleep cycles, okay, and we ideally don't want to disrupt those sleep cycles. Okay. Our body likes to get into that rhythm, so if we keep consistent sleep and wake times, what we're going to find is that when it comes to going to sleep, our body is going to, almost be in that state ready for sleep if it's consistent, because it knows. And we're also going to find that when we're waking up at consistent times, we're going to wake up feeling relatively fresh and ready to go. We need to try and minimize artificial and blue light. Okay, so artificial being just the lights on in your house. What you want to try and do is match the levels of natural light. Okay, your body will typically fall in the rhythm of going to sleep, waking up with natural light. As it gets darker, you'll get tired. As the sun comes up and you see the light, your body will actually typically wake up with that. Okay, so you want to try and match the artificial light in your house with the outside. So when it gets dark, you want to try and keep your rooms inside your house as dark as you can with that. Okay, so maybe turn off main lights. If you need lights, maybe put on some lamps. Try and keep them dim. Just try and minimize artificial light. With that, try and minimize blue light. So blue light is stuff like phones, computers, laptops, potentially TVs. Obviously with some flexibility, but what blue light does is it actually suppresses your melatonin production. Melatonin, if you don't know, is basically the sort of master sleep hormone. Okay, so if melatonin is suppressed, we're not going to feel as tired. Okay, so when we're going to bed in that sort of 2 to 3 hours before bed, we want to minimize blue light so it doesn't suppress this melatonin production. Okay, so try and turn off those things as best you can. If you have to use stuff like phones, computers, then try and get sort of blue light filters for them. Okay, so you can get blue light filters on these things, so it tries to minimize the blue light being emitted from them, and that way you can potentially use them but still not getting the same experience or same levels of blue light exposure. Keep it cool. Your core body temperature needs to drop by a couple of degrees to help promote sleep. Okay, so we want to keep our sleeping space relatively cool. Think of it almost like a cave. It wants to be dark, wants to be pretty cool. Okay, if let's say it's hot weather, stuff like that, you can also try and take warm or hot baths / like showers, maybe like an hour or 2 hours before you go to bed, because that actually helps reduce your core body temperature. Even wearing socks helps reduce your core body temperature, but typically just try and keep your room sort of relatively cool. Okay, the big one, well, one of the big ones, they're all big. Relax. Make sure you are relaxing. Going to sleep is a restful, relaxed state. If you're trying to go to sleep in a stressed state, it just isn't going to work very well. Okay, so try and reduce any workload. Try not to work close to bed. Maybe have like a work curfew. Make sure whatever you're doing before bed is relaxing. Whatever you find relaxing, try and do that before you go to sleep. Whether that's reading a book, it could even be watching TV. Again, with minimal light, minimal blue light as best you can. Whatever you find relaxing, it could even be a little bit of mindfulness, a little bit of yoga, maybe potentially. Whatever you really find relaxing, try and do that a good 1 hour before you go to sleep, because we need to be in a relaxed state to promote good sleep. So there you have it. There are the 5 big tips for making sure you can try and optimize your sleep as best as possible. And again, do not underestimate the importance of sleep. It is massively important for your goal, whether that's building muscle mass or dropping body fat. Okay. Again, if you did find this video helpful, please do drop a like. If you've got any questions, throw them down below. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe. I'll catch you on the next one.